Positive Gains is back, and our special guest today is Katherine Norland. You've probably seen her in the Dhar Mann Series, among other things. Katherine, thank you for being on today.
Thank you so much, Mike. I'm excited for today.
All right. So let's get right into it. So how did you get started into acting?
As a child, I actually did couple plays in grade school, and I thought, well, I probably didn't think much of it at the time, and then didn't do anything in high school. I think I may have tried out for one or two, but then never got a part. So I figured I must not have any talent for this. So I just kind of gave up on it. And then I was going to Bible college, and I thought I was going to become a pastor or something to be able to help people. And this traveling play came through town, and they were putting on this play at church, and they didn't have enough people to play all the roles. So they were pulling people from the congregation to be in it. And I got this role of this like drug addicted loose woman who was like on the road to hell, and I got dragged into hell by the demons, and it was like, but so it was fun, and it was fun to play this wild character. And then the thing that kind of flipped the switch for me is afterwards, all these people came to the front of the church after, and they were crying, and it moved them, and they wanted to make their lives better. They wanted to change based on this play. And I thought to myself, you mean you could do something like acting and make a difference in people's lives? You don't have to be like a pastor or a life coach or a counselor, a teacher. You can change people by entertainment. And I kind of was like hooked after that point.
Wow. I didn't expect that. That's probably one of the different stories that I've heard. That's pretty unique coming up that, in a church setting. Most of us, myself included, my wife, grew up in church. So a lot of people do get their starts early on like that.
Singers especially.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
So your involvement with the Dhar Mann series, I have to say my wife and my two children have seen every episode, every single one. I mean, wow. They don't miss them. And especially it seems like your character, they get a big kick out of, because you'll play the, real snooty at times, and and they get a big kick out of it. But we like the way it's centered around. I'm not even sure how we stumbled upon it, but like I myself included, I really enjoy it. So
very cool.
How did you get started in that?
Ricky is the real OG of Dhar Mann, Ricky Yvette Westmoreland. She her and I were friends on Facebook, and we had some mutual friends in the acting stuff. And I think she had posted one. I must have watched it and commented about how good it was. I was like, oh, you were so great in this. I didn't know it was a series. I didn't know it was a continue. I thought it was like this just one thing she did. And she actually inboxed me, and she's like, well, they're actually looking for some more actors. I can probably get you an audition. So she got me my audition for Dhar Mann Studios. And then I did my first Dhar Mann video October of 2018 with Carl.
Yeah, I've heard the news about him.
He's fighting. We gotta keep praying for Carl to pull through. But he's the first person. Him and Mayor, and who was I think Vin might have been the fourth person in, but it was the four of us. Where I wouldn't let Carl get on the elevator with us because I didn't like how he was looking at my daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that I kind of got my start by she referred me to audition for them. And now they've grown so big, people are beating down their door. And they were telling me early on, the director producer were telling me early on, they couldn't get people to be in it.
Really?
Practically had to, early on, they practically, not for real, but practically had to beg people to act in it.
Wow.
They were unheard of, unknown, people didn't know. Now it's like, people are constantly, how can I get in? How can I get on it? I'm like, you know, used to be back in the day, I could refer someone, but they've gotten so big that they have got their own casting team now. Back when we started out, there was 2 people. It was just the producer and the director, who also did the camera and the editing, and the producer did the casting and props and costume, did everything. Now they have a full team, and as you probably have seen, now they have their own studio. They're building all their own sets, and it's really grown to be a really cool thing.
Sorry, the internet's going in and out here.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Did you miss any of that?
the last part, you'd said that, you know, they have their own casting, you know, people now, and it cut off after that.
Oh, okay. So now they've grown to be this big entity with their own studio, and they're building their own sets, and it's gone really, I mean, it was worldwide before, but now they're putting them out in different languages, and
Wow.
It's pretty epic. I think they've now had collectively over all their videos more than 12 billion views on them. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. Yeah.
And I can tell it's evolved, because like you said, it started out real small,
Mhm.
and the episode I just watched was just solely youth based. You know, a lot of the youth.
Yeah.
There was really no adults, so you can see.
So they're like working with all these different actors now, and they're able to do different stories, you know, with different, you know, they've just expanded a lot. I think they're trying to reach more people, more, you know, more demographics, and to, you know, tell stories that in different ways that don't get told otherwise, or, you know, where each culture can feel like they can relate, you know.
Right. And can you speak on your course, the You Are Worthy course, and give a little bit more background on that?
Oh, sure. That's something that was burning in my heart for years and years and years. I had overcome tremendous self-worth issues, self-esteem issues, and I had such low self-esteem. I couldn't even look in the mirror without crying. It was,
Oh wow.
It was super unhealthy. And looking behind me at my books, I'm going to grab one. Hold on.
Sure.
So when I finally won my battle with it, I wrote this book, Poetic Prescriptions for Eternal Youth, Examining Earthly Beauty from a Heavenly Perspective. And it's about my journey of overcoming self-worth issues by finding out what God had to say about me. And then I had a coach and a mentor, and he was like, "Are you sure you're done with that topic?" I'm like, "Yeah, I wrote a book." I'm like, "What else am I going to say?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I think you have more to say in that." I'm like, "Nope, said everything I wanted to say." He's like, in 20 poems, you said everything you want to say on that topic. Didn't that take years for you to overcome? And I'm like, "Well, yeah." So he challenged me. And for the next 3 or 4 months, I went through this book every morning for like 4 a.m. for like 3 or 4 hours. And I just started to write everything on each particular poem, on each particular topic. And I ended up with like 150 pages. I'm like,
wow.
"Oh, I guess I did have more to say on that topic." And I run into so many people who don't love themselves, who don't believe in themselves, who don't think they have anything to offer, or they have these dreams, but they don't think they're capable. And it's, you know, it's especially prevalent in Hollywood, where you're judged on your looks, you're judged on your appearance, you're judged on your weight. I mean, I've been in the situations where casting directors will grab the fat on my arm, or they'll pinch my muffin top or hit me in the stomach and be like, "You're not going to fit in this I've been fired from TV shows for being too fat. It's, you know,
wow.
My own manager was calling me a Barnum and Bailey circus freak because my eyes don't match, and just one thing after another. And I thought, you know, I'm probably not the only one who's going through this and experiencing this. And then I thought, well, I wonder if it's just like a Hollywood thing. No, I get inbox messages every single day from people from all walks of life who don't fully love themselves, who think maybe they're not good enough, they're not enough, they don't have what it takes. They don't. And I was like, so I just started making like YouTube videos like 3-4 years ago, just giving advice to people. And I realized And then I started coaching people, and I was like, man, I got to turn this into something bigger, because I'm just one person and I can't talk to every single person. So I spent 2 years writing the You Are Worthy course. And it's a full on like 8 to 10 hours of training, breaking down to show people how to discover their value, how to learn to love themselves and see themselves like God does, so they have the courage and the confidence to go after their dreams, so they can become who they were meant to be, get rid of all the blocks in their mind that are stopping them from seeing themselves as that truly worthy, accepted, capable, victorious, unstoppable person that they are. They just don't know it yet. And I want to be the person to show them why and how to break through and to never have those confidence issues again.
Wow. Yeah. That that is such, inspiring and such a great course, because like you said, so many people struggle, even if they're not famous, that they struggle with this at home or in the workplace. And I think a lot of times people feel like if you're a Hollywood person that, you don't have, you still there?
Yep, I hear you.
Okay, sorry. That you still don't, that you don't have these issues, and you're not experiencing these types of things. So for somebody like you to explain and show your own experiences, I mean, like you said, that's helping a lot of people.
Yeah, and I hope it does. I've been getting a lot of good feedback on the course. It's not fully out yet, but it will be. It will be sometime this year. Having some little setbacks with editing, because I want to make it. A lot of online courses you buy, it's just somebody standing at a whiteboard writing, like just talking. And I because I'm an actress, I wanted to, I play different characters. I did different things. I tried to make it enjoyable and entertaining as well as educational. So I've had a lot of fun creating it, but it's taken a little longer than I thought it would. I've been filming almost every Monday since August. I'm still
Wow.
filming. Yeah.
So how do you juggle, so many things going on, being a mother, a wife, you're an author, you're acting, the pandemic's going on. I mean, you've got people, hitting you up in the DMs, telling you how, things are helping them. So how do you stay grounded with so many things going on, in your own life?
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to go off in different directions and be too obsessed about one thing and forego other things. I just try to, when I first started getting a lot of followers, I would be like up till midnight answering all the DMs. And I decided I need to set office hours. I need to stop at a certain point and not have my 2-year-old on my lap while I'm getting back to a stranger who's,
Right.
and that I need to just like be in the moment with where I'm at. And I realized I'm probably not going to be able to answer every question. I'm probably not going to be able to, because if I make my life about answering other people's questions, then I won't be able to continue to put the work out that will help the most amount of people. So that was, hard for me, because I'm such a person of service, to go, I may have 25 people mad at me if I'm not getting back to them, but maybe there's 500 that understand. I can't, and I try to go live once a week on YouTube to answer questions and stuff. But if I don't sit my butt down and concentrate on designing the course, on writing the books, that's going to be able to help thousands instead of, maybe just the hundreds I can help on my own. So maybe even millions, who knows how big it will grow. But I have to focus on the big picture and not let that little guilt go, oh, you're not getting back to people, because, I'm only one person.
Yeah, and people have to understand that, like you said, you have your own life, and there's so much going on around, and people can't take it personally.
Yeah, and I wanted to do stuff like this and do the videos and stuff so people can get answers that they need, but it's not just one person. You can have 500 people watch this, and in the same amount of time it might take you to help one person. So trying to see the big picture too.
All right, so we're back. Due to our connectivity issues, I'm gonna re-ask the question again. So yeah, I was wanting to know what you were most proud of in your career with all that you've accomplished so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking about that, and it wasn't any show I've been on. It wasn't any money I've made. It wasn't any books I've written. I think what I am most proud of is being transparent with problems I go through in life so that others can see that they're not alone, to share the scary things, to reach into the dark places within me, to show people I'm not perfect. I don't have this filtered perfect life. I got issues myself, and so that others can feel like they're not alone in the struggle, because everything they see on Instagram from the filtered life and the perfect poses and photoshopped everything, people can start to think I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. Look at all these people don't have problems and I do. And it was actually this one time, my pastor's wife, she always came across as being all put together and having everything. And he just was like, I can never attain that. I could never be that godly of a person. I could never, and you start to feel like maybe it's not attainable for me. And then one time she got to the pulpit and was talking about this fight she got into with her husband. And she was talking about how she used to cuss like a sailor, but God delivered her from her foul language. And she got in this big fight with her husband, the pastor, and she said she double flipped him off, both her fingers. She was so angry. She's telling this and she's like horrified, admitting it, so ashamed. I was in the pew just laughing. I thought it was the funniest thing. I think she was worried the congregation was going to judge her, but I'm like, finally, a human, someone who has issues just like me. She's the pastor's wife and she's flipping off the pastor. Then I feel like I'm not a loser. I don't, we can be people of God and still have have these moments where we're crazy people. So transparency is something, people who've read any of my books have said like, oh, you shared some stuff, that maybe you should have kept a secret, of personal struggles and things I've been through. But I don't, my parents get a little embarrassed when I share too much information, but I think it's going to help people. And me keeping my struggles a secret, it doesn't help anybody. So when I put them out into the light of day, see, it does two things. Not only does it help people, but when you've got things you're struggling with, if you keep it hidden, you keep it a secret, that's like when the dark wins. That's when the devil wins, because he makes you feel like, I can't tell anyone. I'm ashamed. People will judge me. They won't like me if they know this. And then what it does is it secludes you. It draws you back. It takes you away from the world. Whereas if you can go, yeah, I flipped off the past. I double flipped off the past. Other people can go, I'm not alone. You know what? She's got issues. We've all got issues. Nobody's perfect. Let's work on this, instead of I'm not good enough. I'm going to go end my life, or I'm not going to go for my dreams, or I'm not going to do whatever because I'm the only one in the world with issues. So to me, that's what I'm most proud of. I know I could go deeper. I'm a private person by nature. There's still a lot of things I haven't shared. A lot of my struggles are with raising a special needs child. And I've gotten to the place where I'm brave enough to film the videos where I'm crying my eyes out, snot's dripping from me. I don't know what to do. I'm at my wit's end. I haven't been brave enough to release those videos yet.
Okay.
Because it's just me ranting. So I tend to only release something that's actually going to help people. But so I need to improve. I'm most proud of that I do that, but I also know there are more layers deeper I could go to share all of me. I just have to gauge how much should be shared. I think some people overshare, and I want to find that happy balance.
And I think too, like you were saying, when people hold things inside and, they they don't want to say anything. I think a lot of times they're afraid of the backlash and they
Yeah,
get wrapped up in what people will say or think
true.
about them. And
Yeah,
then it makes it even worse. So yeah, that's great
right.
advice to
Mm,
speak,
thank you.
And so what would you, advice wise, what would you say to somebody that maybe wanted to follow in a path similar to yours? Because like your story, you have so many different layers of where people can attach. They can jump on, growing up in church, or people that have, maybe they have special need children, or people that are actors, aspiring. So there's so many different layers, to your story. So
Mm-hmm.
what advice would you give to somebody that wanted to attach to any one of those?
Mm-hmm. Well, I would say no matter what, even if you don't relate to those three things we mentioned, I would say if you have a dream in your heart, then you are fully capable of achieving that dream, no matter what it is, because God doesn't put a dream in our heart that we are unable to achieve. So if it's above your knowledge where it is now, if it's above you, then resource up. I would say get a mentor, watch videos like this, watch things that will inspire you. Use your browser as your best friend and say, you know what, maybe I'm a paraplegic, so I can't be an artist. Look up videos where you see other paraplegics who are producing great art. See,
Mm-hmm.
this is like one tactic that the devil tries to do, is he tries to tell us our areas of talents are common, but our areas of struggle are um, that nobody else is going through that.
Mm-hmm.
So we think, well, any talent I might have, like, what's the point? Why write a book on confidence when there's been 500 other books written about it? What am I going to add to that? So whatever your talent is, that voice tries to keep it. Oh, no one wants to hear you. Why do you need to make a podcast? There's already 10 billion podcasts out there. Who's going to want to hear what you have to say? You may
Yeah.
have those thoughts. How
Oh,
am
yeah.
I going to be different? Who's going to want to talk to me? I'm not this big fancy person I'm not going to be able to get names, whatever it is. I say, if you've got that dream in your heart, you got to go for it. And you've got to believe that you have something within you that sets you apart, that makes you unique and makes you special. And so what if there's 500 books written on a topic? No one is going to approach it the way you approach it. No one is going to say the things that you're going to say. And no one has been through the exact experiences that you've been through. And
Right.
there's going to be people that Mike is going to be able to reach that won't listen to Katherine. So you've got your own crowd, you've got your own following that needs you, that needs to hear your voice. And if you don't put your voice out there, if you don't put your work, your talent out there, the world is going to miss out on it. They might not even know they're missing out on it, but there's an empty void that you are meant to fill. God gave you your gifts and your talents for a reason, and they're not to keep hidden under a rock. They're to share with the world, to encourage others. So you have to get over the fear, get over what other people are going to think. And so what if one person out of 10 doesn't like it? Don't think about the one person, think about the 9 who need you, and let that be your purpose to go on, and not the one hater.
Yeah, you you hit the nail in the coffin. I mean, I've told myself that, starting early on, the
Yeah.
same questions, why am I going to do this? Who's going to listen? And
Yeah.
and I said, I don't care. I'm going to try it. And
Yeah.
somebody will like it, even if it's
That's
only
right.
my wife and kids and my mom.
Hey, and that's the legacy you're leaving behind. You
Yeah.
know what? And even if it is only them, aren't they important enough to leave your legacy with your thoughts and feelings and how you're,
Yeah.
you think about
It's
them?
showing them that, if you put your mind to something, you can do it, like
Yep.
you said, and not letting your circumstances keep you down, because, I'm not an A-list Hollywood guy, or, you don't
Right.
have to be. If you put in the work, like you're saying,
Yeah.
and you're motivated, things will happen.
Absolutely.
So where can fans find you on social media?
Yes, I am on Instagram under the name Katherine Norland, spelled KATHERINENORLAND. I am on, what's that thing called? Facebook. under Kat Norland, K-A-T. I think those are the two main places, and YouTube under Katherine Norland. And I want to give all your fans a free download of this book. Oh. So it's my main story. I have 3 books I've written, but this is my main story I give away. And they can get that by going to poeticprescriptions.com/free book. Poetic Prescriptions, all one word, .com/free book.
And I will definitely put that in the info section, and because I know I won't remember even with it being on the.
It's okay. You know what? Mike Murdoch said, he had a quote that I love. He said, your mind should be kept clear because your mind is made for creativity. Your technology is made for remembering. So you let your technology remember everything for you, and you just keep this open for creativity.
Absolutely. Well, Katherine, I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy day and being a guest on the podcast. Yeah. I myself have learned a lot. It's been very influential and positive, which is what we're all about here.
Awesome.
Can't wait to see what 2021 holds for you, and you're welcome back anytime.
All right. Thank you so much. Positive gains. Ooh.
Thank you.